Hey guys, how's it going? I miss you. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. This week you were supposed to work on numbers 21 through 30. Not many questions. Hopefully you did that. You've been continuing your practice. Some of you might be like, dude, what happened to your hair? Well, I'll tell you real quick. You can't really get haircuts these days, so I was giving my son a haircut because, you cut some hair, it's not hard. And, let's just say he moved a little bit when I had the buzzer, and his hair was looking good, and then all of a sudden the short part right here went whoop right up to the top. And he freaked out. I mean, he's 4 years old, about to be 5. So without even considering anything, I just went, it's okay, it's okay. And I just started buzzing my hair off, and it didn't really help. He freaked out. That might have freaked him out even more. I don't know. But it's just hair, right? Okay. So, what else? Jokes. Last time I told a joke. Try to keep you guys interested. And this time I can't tell you a joke. And I'll explain why I can't tell you a joke if you stick around for the whole video. All right? Okay. I believe I had you start on 21. I think last time we completed up until number 20. So let's go to 21. Natalie has 3 calendars. When she gives 2/3 of the calendars to her friends. So you need to complete the expression and then solve to find how many calendars Natalie gives to her friends. Okay, so here we go. We'll use the board. The expression was, 3 times 2/3 equals 2/3 plus 2/3 plus blank. Well, if there's 3 2/3, then 2/3, 2/3, 2/3. And then when you spell it out like this, I'm pretty confident that all of you guys know how to add 2/3, 2/3, 2/3. You get 6/3. And you realize that 6/3, it takes 3/3 to make a whole, so 6/3 is 2 wholes. So the answer has to be 2 calendars. That's a good start. 22, a rectangular address label is 2.5 inches long and 3/4 inch. Why? What is the area? Okay, so area, let's pretend you just have something easy like 2 by 3. The area of something that's 2 by 3 is 6. So to find the area, you multiply the length and the width, or the 2 different sides. Here we don't have those wonderful easy numbers. We have a mixed number and a fraction, but the idea is still the same. So we have 2.5 inches. We have 3/4 inches. So we just want to multiply them together. When you multiply fractions, they have to be numerator-denominator form. So here you have 2.5, which is the same thing as 5/2. And then you have 3/4, which is 3/4. And then you're just going to multiply those together. Usually we have the option to reduce first, but you can't reduce those first. 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 2 is 8. And how many 8s are in 15? Only 1. So we can pull out one group of 8 8s. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 are left over. So that would mean that there's 7 left over. 7 8s. So it's 1 and 7 8s. And because it's two-dimensional, it's squared inches. Okay, so your answer is 1 and 7/8 square inches. Number 23. 23. A rectangular garden has a width. Let's see here. Whoa, son of a gun. Okay. Oh, perfect. Now it's all cockeyed. I warned you this was going to happen. All right. It will fall again, I promise you. So, see how long it will last. We have a rectangular garden of 2 2/3 yards by 2 yards.
Dad.
Yes. So 2 2/3.
Dad, look it. We built the
by
digger.
2. That's very nice. It's a very nice digger. My son built a Lego digger.
And this is what it digs up.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Why don't you go have some fun with that, and I'll be done with this in a second. I'll come
Okay.
on up. Okay. Teaching at home, I'll tell you. Okay. Let's see here. So we have 2 2/3 by 2. So we're going to do the same thing we did on the other problem, and you're going to multiply the two sides. And if you would have put 2 2/3 over here and 2 over here, it's okay. Same idea. So 2 2/3 times 2. So 2 2/3, we have to make that an improper fraction. So that's 8/3 times 2, and 2 is 2 over 1. 8 times 2 is 16. 3 times 1 is 3. Now you have an improper fraction because it only takes 3/3 to make a whole, and you have 16/3. So how many 3's are in 16? So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and you can't take any more out. So you can take out 5 wholes, which is 15/3. So if you only use 15/3 of the 16/3, you still have a third left. So that answer is 5 1/3, and once again, because it's area is squared, it's going to be 5 1/3 square yards. I don't know if I said yards before. So 5 1/3 square yards. 24. Number 24, Marty did 24 chin-ups. Elise did 5/8 of 24. 5/8 as many chin-ups as Marty. Predict whether Elise did more or less chin-ups, and then find the answer. Well, 8/8 of Marty would mean the exact same amount as Marty. 5/8 is less than 8/8. 5/8 is less than a whole. So that means Marty did more chin-ups. So now we have to figure out how many. So the answer is fewer, because Elise did fewer. And then how many is 24 times 5/8? 24 is a whole number. We're going to multiply a fraction, so you have to turn 24 into a fraction. And then remember, you always have the ability to reduce. You can reduce those, you can reduce these, or you can reduce an opposite numerator denominator. That's enticing here, because 8 goes into 24 3 times. So that would turn into a 3, that would turn into a 1. But I lose half of the students when I reduce sometimes. And reducing is optional. You don't have to reduce first. Simplifying your answer is not optional, but reducing before you multiply is optional. Or, if you don't know that 8 goes into 24, you could just look at them and know they're even, and then just say, this is the same thing as if I cut that in half and cut that in half. And it makes for an easier problem. So this would be 60 over 4. And 60 over 4 is the same thing as 30 over 2, which is the same thing as 15 over 1. So that tells you your answer is 15. And if you multiply it over this way, you get 120 over 8. You want to see how many 8s are in 120. And there too, your answer is going to be 15. So Elise she did 15 chin-ups. All right.